Hello and welcome to PNG Technologies. We are a supplier of custom natural gas and propane kits for generators. Today we're going to be showing you the 2022 version of the newer Predator 3500. This is the Super Quiet Inverter. This is their newest version here, and then we also did one on the older version, if you can see that there, where it doesn't say the Super Quiet Inverter on it. And then the actual oil drain is on the opposite, and so is the rope on it. So we'll go ahead and show you the steps on this newer unit here, and we'll get started. Okay, now what we're going to do is go ahead and remove the cover so we can get access to the carburetor on the inside. These are just Phillips up here. Just unscrew those. Just kind of pull this up here, it's a little lip. And then you got two little clips. I kind of grab it down here so you don't break them. Go ahead and pull that, set that to the side. Now we've got access to the inside here, and we'll go ahead and show you the next steps on that. Okay, before we get into the panel, we got to remove the battery, okay? It just makes it easier access for us to get to the air cleaner and everything. So go ahead and just pull the clip off. Now this one's a brand new unit, so the battery wasn't connected. So just set that to the side, and we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Okay, now what we're going to do is start removing some of the hoses out of our way. Just go ahead and pull the tube up here. Just kind of tuck it to the side. We'll pull this one off here. You got a little clip over, or clamp over on this side. Pull that one off. Set that to the side. Go ahead and remove this one here. Tuck that to the side. All right. This one here we'll just kind of tuck up in here. All right. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and loosen the clamps on the air tube here. I know my hands are going to be in the way on some of this, but really nothing I can do with this small of a unit. And you got one down here. Go ahead and loosen that. And we're going to pull that boot off. Go ahead and pull that out. And then on the air cleaner, we're going to pull the cover off. There's a clip here. There's a clip down here. Clip back on that back side. I already unclipped that one. And then you got one on the top. And then we'll go ahead and show you the next steps on this. Okay, now that we've got that, we're going to remove the two nuts that hold this plastic piece on here. And these are 10s, 10 millimeter. Get this back one off here, and then we'll get the front. It's a compact little unit, but this is a nice little generator here. This one here will power a few things you throw at it, you know. Okay. Alrighty. Go ahead and slide that off. And now we've got complete access to the carburetor. And we'll show you the next steps on that. Okay, now there is no gasoline shutoff valve on this. So when we're switching over to an alternative fuel, obviously we have to put a shutoff valve in there to stop the gasoline so you can use either whatever fuel you want just by turning them on. Now we'll supply you this here. And the reason I made it a little bit longer is because I didn't want to try to put a shutoff valve back in here behind when the air cleaner's on. You can't get to it. So I'll have it hang down here towards the bottom. That way you can get to it. But go ahead and take your gasoline carburetor, slide it right off. Okay. Just pull it down. Okay, there we go. Now we got where we can get to the back of the fuel line here. Okay. We'll go ahead and pull that up. Slide the hose off. Okay. Now, kind of pull this to this side because you need this over here. Okay, so it doesn't interfere with any of the cables. And It's already got the clamp on it for us. So we'll take our hose mender. We'll slide it up on where you pulled off the carburetor. Okay, take the clamp, pull it back down here. Sometimes these things can be stubborn. There we go. There it goes. Okay, and then just kind of tuck this around on the inside. You're going to bring this back over to where you took it off. Pull that clamp back a little bit. Go ahead and slide that. It's tight in there, but it's doable. Okay, get that down there. We'll bring this clamp down. Okay, there we go. And we'll go ahead and put the gasoline carburetor back on. And bring this around here. Okay, that way, see, it's out of the way and you got access down here versus trying to reach back in here. So now that's that step. We'll go ahead and show you the next ones. All right, now that we've got the gasoline shut off in there, what we're going to do is go ahead and pull the carb kind of back a little bit. And what I do, you can either double nut this, or I just put vice grips on the backside where there's no threads. I turn them out. You turn them out enough till you got clearance, so when you put your slim adapter on here, obviously it's going to stick out. There's not enough meat, and there's plenty of meat back in them. So just when you lock your vice grips on these, just make sure you lock down on them good and give them just a quick little pop, and they'll come right loose. So you shouldn't have no problems there. So just bring them out, okay? Okay, you're going to want to put their existing gasket back on. And then stick our slim adapter on. Put our gasket on. Go ahead and get the box back up here. And we'll install the nuts back on. Get this one on in here. Fairly easy to do. And like I said, this is a nice little unit here. Nice and portable. Got plenty of power with it. Go ahead and snug them down. Alrighty, it's pretty good there, good and snug there, and then we'll go ahead and get the cover back on here, and then we'll show you the next steps on installing this here. Okay, now we'll go ahead and get the cover back on with the boot. The easiest way to do this is just kind of keep your gas line pulled back over here, okay? Just slide this up in, bring it around. Get your boot. I leave all the clamps loose, obviously, even on the top. So, and then just pull this last one up here. The back one is the difficult one to get. Kind of just get it all set. Just clip it down and get this one back here. It's a bear to get to. Sometimes that's why I kind of got, there we go, got the battery off. We can go ahead and snap that. All right, there we go. That's that step there. And we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. We'll get all the hoses hooked back up on here. Okay, now we'll get all our hoses reattached back up. Go ahead and get this one on here. Get it back up on here. Pull this one back on. Pull the clamp down. Okay. Bring this one back down, pop it in there. Slide her back in the little tube. It's just a drain coming down for this. All right, we got that. Everything's connected there. Nice, easy access to that, though. I mean, obviously, you got to pull the cover off, but you got it because you need it. So now we'll go ahead and attach our fuel hose here. Get that on there. And then we'll be ready to install the bulkhead. And then we'll mount the regulator and we'll be on our last step. So go ahead, and we're going to end up cutting this. I leave it a little bit long so it kind of comes in, because the fitting's going to come inside the door, and then we'll run the hose out. That way we got that through the cover of the door there. So we'll show you the next steps. Okay, now what we're going to do, obviously we got our hose here. I like to, instead of just drilling a hole through and just having the hose stick through, I put a bulkhead in here. So we're going to mount this bulkhead. We'll give you all the hardware for it. We're going to mount this bulkhead here. It'll actually come from the inside, and that hose that we had in there will attach to this here. And then I'll show you where we're going to drill this on here in the next step. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drill into the door here to mount our bulkhead. I use a step bit, and this is going to, it's approximately 3/4, just a little under it. So obviously you'll bring it up to, you know, just to have clearance for this to come through. What you're going to do is mark up from the bottom of the door 3 inches. Okay, and then come over 2 3/4 of an inch. Make a little mark there. And then you got a little foam on the other side here. That's okay. It doesn't tear it. So we'll go ahead and drill this. Just enough to get that clearance through. Let's see if that does it there. Might have to go a little. Oh, that'll work. Okay. Just go ahead and clean your burrs up a little bit on it. Take this through the back. We'll install this side on your floor. We put compound. You're going to end up putting compound on this side too over here. Go ahead and press that through. You're going to kind of face it maybe 11 o'clock if you got the door facing back ways, because when that hose comes down, that way it doesn't kink on you. So go ahead, get your lock washer on there. Go ahead and get your nut on there. And these are 1 inch. If you don't have 1 inch, obviously crescent wrench will do. Go ahead and hold that in its position back there. Go ahead and tighten this down. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get the next thing on there. We'll supply you with some Teflon here. Just go ahead, put you a little on the fitting there. This one here, you're going to face around 11 o'clock too, right in that area there. So we'll go ahead and tighten that down. And I'll probably have to get a wrench on the other side. Yep, we'll get that. There we go. Oops. Okay, about right in there. All right, now we're set with that. We'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Okay, now that we've got our bulkhead installed up here, we're going to go ahead and connect our hose on the back. So go ahead and get your clamp on there. And then just slide that on there. Bring her down. That's everything in the inside now done. Now when you put this on, just make sure when you're looking back there that the hose doesn't kink. You know, you've got clearance for stuff. You know, you're good to go with that. Everything looks fine there. And then we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. All right, now that we've got everything set up, we'll we'll supply you this. What we did is we kind of come up with a nice custom bracket to go across these two here. It'll all be mounted like this. Everything will be here. I'll give you the accessories. We're going to have little spacers to go behind here and there. Keeps it away a little bit. So first of all, we got to take these out. They're kind of like a double thread. Once you get it started, there we go. Just pull these completely out. Okay, and then we'll give you a flat washer. Go in the top two holes. Spacer. Start that in there. And again, it starts on the front first. Okay. And then, I get that one started first. So I get this one. Alright, there we go. And then it'll automatically start going into the back one. Okay, we'll do the same over here. Hardware in there. Our spacer. Get started. This is a nice custom kit here. I'm going to rank this up in their very top 5 kits because it's so nice and just such a convenient generator, you know. These are 8s here. Okay, get this side. Get that locked down. You don't got to overly crank these, you know. Just get them snug here, dealing with plastic here. There we go. Alrighty, there's that step there. We'll go ahead and show you the next step. Alright, now we're going to get our other fuel hose hooked up here. Go ahead and slide that in there. Go ahead and get this one. And I kind of just twist this a little. It, you know, kind of keeps it away from that. Just for, you know, you don't want it to cut it. This is pretty good stuff. This is Tygon, so it's a pretty good fuel hose. So, all right. That's pretty much it. We'll go ahead and show you how to hook up the propane to it. We'll show you the natural gas also, and then we'll get this thing started for you. Okay, now that we've got everything all set up on it, we'll give you, for the propane side, you'll get the high pressure regulator, 5 feet of hose with it, and we supply the swivels on some, or there's a quick connect for this for propane. When you're doing natural gas, we also supply the natural gas hose with the quick connects. They're an open orifice. They're not a closed one. A lot of people buy those and they have problems with fuel volume issues, so we don't recommend them there. So go ahead and tighten this up. All right, and then we'll show you starting this up here on the next step. Okay, now we just want to make sure we got everything hooked up here. We'll switch it to start. On the back of it, turn your ball valves on, turn your propane on the tank. On the back of this unit, there's a primer button on the back. Hold it for 1 or 2 seconds. That'll shoot the fuel through here without, because this opens with vacuum, engine vacuum, through this hose. So if you hit this, you'll hear fuel come through it. You gotta turn it on first. Okay. There we go, here it there. Hit our start switch. I loosened this up so because we're going to have to adjust this. Take the idle out. In is lean, out is rich. This thing's quiet, isn't it? Go ahead, lock that down. running on propane. Again, with the natural gas, we also offer the quick connects, like I said, and that way you can run tri-fuel if you'd like. So that's that steps on this. We'll go ahead and show you the rest. Okay, that shows you the steps on the newer, this is the 2022, and it's the super quiet inverter. So again, like I said in the beginning of the video, it is different than the ones previous from 2022. So I hope this video helps you out a lot. Again, these are custom kits designed specifically for this unit. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below. Our website is pngtechnologies.com, or we could be reached at 734-992-2648. Thank you and have a wonderful day.